Nobody registered an objection to the motion for the declaration of the existence of probable cause in the Cabrera impeachment complaint. That means that the motion is approved by unanimous vote. Nevertheless, let it be placed on record that 53 justice members physically present confirm their support to the motion by raising their hands. So ruled. That concludes our voting. And the chair pronounces that the existence of probable cause has been declared with respect to both the Sabalia complaint and the Cabrera complaint. With that, we direct the committee to prepare the necessary committee report along with the resolution. There is a motion to consolidate the grounds in the Sabalia complaint and Cabrera complaint under one articles of impeachment. Do I hear a second?
Second, Madam
The
Chair.
same has been seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is granted. With that, we direct the committee secretary. No, we direct the committee to prepare the committee report along with the resolution and the articles of impeachment. We further direct the committee to transmit the same to the complainant, the respondent vice president, and the justice members. The chair likewise announces the continuation of hearing on May 4, 2026, 10 o'clock in the morning at People's Center. Let this announcement be the notice to the justice members. The chair directs the COMSEC to send notice to complainant and the respondent vice president for our hearing on May 4, 2026.
Madam Chair, honorable members of the committee, we are not here today to determine guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Ang tanong lamang po sa harap natin ay simple. Merong bang probable cause para ituloy ang impeachment? 2 sa 4 na verified complaints na inihain laban sa pangalawang Pangulo ang siniyasat. Parehong inaakusahan siya ng culpable violation of the Constitution, betrayal of public trust at iba pang high crimes. At ang ating pagsusuri ay nakabatay hindi sa haka-haka, kundi sa mga dokumento, opisyal na ulat at mga sinumpaang salaysay. Unang punto, misuse of confidential funds. Ang paggamit ng confidential funds at bribery ng mga opisyal. Batay sa mga reklamo, hindi bababa sa 500 million pesos mula sa Office of the Vice President at 112 million mula sa Department of Education na pinaniniwalaang hindi maayos na naipaliwanag o nagamit ng naaayon sa batas. Kinumpirma ng resource person na si Ramil Madriaga sa ilalim ng panunumpa na siya ay inutusan umano na maghatid ng confidential funds sa iba't ibang lokasyon alinsunod sa direktiba ng pangalawang Pangulo. Dagdag pa rito, ang Commission on Audit ay naglabas ng Notice of Disallowance na umabot sa 73 million pesos para sa OVP confidential funds noong 2022. At hindi lamang yun, may hiwalay pang disallowance na umabot sa 375 million pesos para sa 2023. Mahalaga, ang mga disallowance na ito ay formal na kinumpirma at ang apela ay tinanggihan. Hindi ito haka-haka. Ito ay opisyal na aksyon ng constitutional body na may mandato sa pag-audit. Kasabay nito, nagpresenta ang NBI Question Documents Division ng forensic analysis sa mga acknowledgement receipts. Ang kanilang finding, maraming resibo ang isinulat ng iisang tao o iisang grupo ng mga tao. Ibig sabihin, may indikasyon ng fabrication. Bukod dito, ang integridad ng mga dokumentong sumusuporta sa paggamit ng pondo ay questionable. Dagdag pa dito, kinumpirma ng Philippine Statistics Authority ang isang nakakabahalang datos. Sa libu-libong pangalan na lumabas sa acknowledgement receipts na tumanggap ng pondo, libu-libong individual ang walang anumang birth, death o marital records. May mga pangalan lumitaw na walang anumang opisyal na record sa PSA. Sa madaling salita, hindi matukoy kung sila ay tunay na tao. Kung ang mga taong ito ay hindi ma-verify, sino ang tumanggap ng pondo? At kung walang tumanggap, saan napunta ang pera? Ito ang mismong tanong na dapat sagutin ng isang malalim na proseso. Hindi natin sinasabi ngayon kung ano ang final na sagot, ngunit malinaw, may malubhang red flags. At ang mga red flags na ito ay hindi isolated. Ito ay tumutugma sa findings ng COA at ng NBI. Ikalawang punto, bribery. May mga opisyal ng Department of Education na umaming tumanggap ng mga sobre na naglalaman ng pera mula sa Vice-Presidente. Ikatlong punto, unexplained wealth at money trail. Ang usapin ng yaman at daloy ng pera. Batay sa salin ng pangalawang Pangulo, ang kanyang declared net worth ay humigit kumulang 88 million pesos. Ngunit kapansin-pansin, mula 2019 hanggang 2024, wala siyang dineklarang cash on hand o cash in bank. Kasabay nito, ang Anti-Money Laundering Council ay nagulat ng bilyong-bilyong piso na pumasok at lumabas sa mga bank accounts na may kaugnayan sa kanya at sa kanyang asawa. Sa kabuuan, ang transactions ay umabot sa mahigit 6.7 billion pesos. Dagdag pa rito, kinumpirma ng AMLC na ang ilang transactions na tinukoy sa isang affidavit ay tumugma sa kanilang official records. Muli, hindi ito opinyon. Ito ay datos mula sa ahensyang may mandato laban sa money laundering. Ang tanong ngayon, kung may ganito kalaking galaw ng pera, bakit hindi ito lubusang nakikita sa salin? At kung may paliwanag, hindi ba't nararapat lang na ito ay ilahad sa tamang forum? Ika-4 na punto, threats and acts of destabilization. Ang kabuuang pattern ng asal at kilos. Nagpresenta ang National Bureau of Investigation ng ebidensya kaugnay ng mga pahayag na may kaugnayan sa banta laban sa Pangulo, sa First Lady at sa dating Speaker ng House. Batay sa kanilang investigasyon, may sapat na batayan upang magsampa ng kaso ng inciting to sedition at grave threats. Kasabay nito, ang patuloy na hindi pagdalo ng pangalawang Pangulo sa kabila ng imbitasyon ng komite ay naglilimita sa kanyang pagkakataong sagutin ang mga aligasyon. Mahalaga ito sapagkat ang due process ay hindi lamang karapatan, ito rin ay responsibilidad na harapin ang proseso. Mga kasama, hindi natin hinahatulan ngayon ang pangalawang Pangulo. Hindi ito ang yugto ng conviction. Ngunit sa harap ng mga sinumpaang salaysay, opisyal na ulat ng COA, PSA, NBI, OMB at AMLC at malinaw na inconsistencies, ang tanong ay nananatili. May probable cause ba o wala? Tutuloy ba o titigil ang impeachment?
With the conclusion of the summation speeches of the endorsers, including the presentation of that video, the chair declares the floor open for the necessary motion. The motion is either to declare the existence or the non-existence of probable cause.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable Franz Legaspi.
Madam Chair, I think we have heard enough explanations and discussions for the past few weeks. And I think it's time to now go on to the determination of whether there is probable cause in turn for each of the complaints. So, Madam Chair, I move for the determination of probable cause for the Sabalia complaint.
There is a motion to declare the existence of probable cause in the Sabalia complaint. Is there any second?
Second, Madam Chair.
The same has been seconded. Is there any objection? There is no objection. I understand that this is a unanimous vote, but nevertheless, for accuracy of our record, may we request the justice members to raise their right hands. For those who are voting in favor of the existence of probable cause in the Sabalia complaint, please raise your right hand.
Marcos.
You may put down your hands. For the record, nobody registered an objection. And in accordance with our rules, that means that the motion is approved by unanimous vote. Nevertheless, for purposes of our records, let me place on the record that there are 53 justice members confirming their support in the motion to declare the existence of probable cause in the Sabalia complaint. So ruled. May we solicit the motion for the Cabrera impeachment complaint.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable Franz Legaspi is recognized again.
furthermore, Madam Chair, I move to determine the probable cause for the second impeachment complaint, the Cabrera complaint. Thank you, Madam Chair.
There is a motion to declare the existence of probable cause in the Cabrera impeachment complaint. Do I hear a second? The same has been seconded. Is there any objection? Again, there is no objection. And pursuant to our rules, this means that the motion is approved by unanimous vote. Again, with the indulgence of the members, for purposes of our record, may we request the members who are present supporting the motion raised by the Honorable Franz Legaspi to raise their right hand. You may now put down your hands. Again, pursuant to our rules, nobody registered an objection to the motion for the declaration of the existence of probable cause in the Cabrera impeachment complaint. That means that the motion is approved by unanimous vote. Nevertheless, let it be placed on record that 53 justice members physically present confirm their support to the motion by raising their hands. So ruled. That concludes our voting. And the chair pronounces that the existence of probable cause has been declared with respect to both the Sabalia complaint and the Cabrera complaint. With that, we direct the committee to prepare the necessary committee report along with the resolution.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable De Lima.
Yes, Madam Chair, there's another matter. Before that directive of the Honorable Chair to the Committee Secretariat, with respect to the transmittal of the records of this committee to the plenary, meron po akong isa pang motion na gagawin. I respectfully move that the two verified impeachment complaints, the Sabalia et al. And the Cabrera complaints, be consolidated. Let me further explain briefly. Pursuant to Rule 3, Section 9 of the House Rules of Procedure in Impeachment Proceedings, this Honorable Committee has already determined unanimously that probable cause exists in both complaints. At this stage, malinaw ang proseso. The committee must submit a resolution setting forth the articles of impeachment for consideration ng House of Representatives in plenary, kung saan kinakailangan ng boto ng at least 1/3 of all members bago ito ma-approve at ma-endorse sa Senado. Precisely for this reason, kailangan malinaw, buo, at magkakaugnay ang mga artikulo ng impeachment. Madam Chair, alam na po natin ito. Both complaints are anchored in the same constitutional grounds under Article 11, Section 2 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution and arise from the same sets or series of acts katulad ng maling paggamit ng confidential funds na nagbubunga ng graft and corruption, panunuhol, posibleng malversation, pagkakaroon ng hindi maipaliwanag at tagong yaman na may kaugnay sa paglabag sa mga obligasyong konstitusyonal at iba pang mga gawain, pananalita at asal na maaring ituring na high crimes at malinaw na paglabag sa tiwala ng publiko o betrayal of public trust. Both impeachment complaints rely on substantially the same evidence and witnesses and taken together establish the same impeachable offenses allegedly committed by the respondent. Pinapayagan po ng ating mga korte ang consolidation ng mga kaso sa ilalim ng same evidence rule doctrine. Several cases have actually enunciated that doctrine. Kasama na po yung kaso ng PNB versus Gutesco, Tian Ming Development, GR number 183-211, June 5, 2009. Consolidating the two complaints for the purpose of preparing the articles of impeachment will prevent duplication of the work of this committee, managing the risks of confusion, inconsistency, and dilution of the charges when subjected to the constitutional threshold of a 1/3 vote of all members of the House. Malaking tulong po sa mas maayos at episyenteng pagsulong ng proseso kung may isang malinaw, unified, at comprehensive na presentasyon ng mga charges and findings. Consolidation, therefore, I submit, Madam Chair, is not just procedural convenience. It is an institutional necessity. Itong magtitiyak ng consistency, clarity, at higit na kredibilidad ng proseso at magbibigay sa buong Kamara ng isang solid at coherent basis para magpasya. Accordingly, Madam Chair, dear colleagues, I most respectfully move that the two verified impeachment complaints be consolidated and reported to the House as a single, integrated set of articles of impeachment, faithfully reflecting the totality of the findings and evidence adduced in both complaints to enable the House as plenary to deliberate and act with coherence, efficiency, and full clarity on the question of accountability of the second highest official of the land. Maraming salamat po. I so move.
There is a motion to consolidate the grounds in the Sabalia complaint and Cabrera complaint under one articles of impeachment. Do I hear a second?
Second, Madam
The
Chair.
same has been seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is granted. With that, we direct the committee secretary. No, we direct the committee to prepare the committee report along with the resolution and the articles of impeachment. We further direct the committee to transmit the same to the complainant, the respondent vice president, and the justice members. The chair likewise announces the continuation of hearing on May 4, 2026, 10 o'clock in the morning at People's Center. Let this announcement be the notice to the Justice members. The Chair directs the COMSEC to send notice to complainant and the respondent Vice President for our hearing on May 4, 2026. If there are no other matters to discuss, the Chair is ready to hear the necessary motion.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable Percy Sendanya.
Madam Chair, I move to suspend.
There is a motion to suspend. The same has been seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the hearing is suspended until May 4, 2026.
Adjourn.
Why?